What's going on, y'all? Shoot, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, but we back in action. Uh, it's currently hella early in the morning. My body woke up, and I was just like, why not make something? I feel like recently with life, I've mostly just been trying to, of course, build my life up, and of course, better myself and my situation. But the longer that I go, the more that I experience life, the more that I focus on intention rather than the aftermath, rather than what's gonna happen or how it's gonna happen. I realized that in my life itself, everything that I want or desire or obtain is found through peace. And so what I mean by that is most people in their life aren't at peace on a daily. Most people in their life desire things. They desire money, wealth, status, women, men, items, travel, a place. And we all have these attempted desires that we want. Of course, you want nice things. Of course, you want to live your life in a certain accordance to how you want to be. But the more that I go on with my day to day, the more that I find that all the things outside of me, all the things that I feel like would make me valuable or make me happy or make me feel at peace honestly come within. Honestly, I find that I don't need as much as I thought. I don't need to be as much as I thought. I don't need to do or say or have all the things that a past version of me would have felt. I feel like the truth of life, to having what you desire, to having a fulfilled purpose, is to be in an optimal amount of state of being of peace, to knowing that regardless of what happens in the world around you, you knowing that yourself, that you are connected to all those things. And so through you controlling yourself, through you mastering the state of being of I am, I exist, therefore I shall be, in a way that I could say that, I tend to find myself over time finding more peace and more happiness, to not desire as many things, because in a state of desire is a state of lack. If you desire something, you therefore think that you are not of, or can't have, or think you lack, for example. And so, with that being said, over time and over the patience and the accordance of living life, I feel the best way to go about it is through finding yourself. And what does it mean to find yourself? You live your life. What does it mean to have purpose? What does it mean to exceed beyond all expectation, to acquire the things of the thrilling life? And the more that I go through it, the more that I go through my head and I ponder these things, and I live and I wake up and I get to achieve life, the more that I find that life is really what you make of it. Your perception of how you see the world, your perception of how you build yourself, how you feel about yourself, will therefore alter your reality, alter the people you're around, excuse me, the people that you're around, opportunities, the money, the wealth, the clothes, the fashion, all those things come to you and can come to you, not in a state of lack, but in a state of peace. Because when the universe sees that you're at peace, everything that revolves in your mind and your reality that you perceive as peace shall come forward. Now, not to say that being in a state of peace, you can't have certain things that happen in your life and you can't have certain issues, because in life, it is a dual experience. Without light, there must be dark, yin and yang. But the flow in between of those things, the gradual understanding of I am perfect without all these things, that I am loved without all these things, that I matter without the validation or the items or the perceived notions of the world of what I should be or what I should have. Therefore, change my perspective to the point where in my life, because there's a level of emotional detachment and the sense of I don't need these things. I don't need the love or the support or the items or the status or all these things. They don't make me. I make myself. I am control of myself. I am in control of how I feel, how I view the world, how I perceive it, and how I live it. And so sometimes I'll even look back on my life and I'll be like, damn, I look back far enough and all the things that I was worried about, all the things that I was stressed about, all the issues that I may have had came from a lack of mindset, came from a lack inside myself that I didn't see. And so, with having that knowledge and having that understanding through time and information and through perceiving life in a new lens, my world has changed. The way that I look has changed. The way that I feel about myself, the way that I go about my day, the way that I treat people, the way that I try to connect to the all divine creation, but knowing that there's no difference between the creator and me, knowing that there's no difference between you and everything around us, knowing that in a sense of source and a sense of connection, I am God and you are God, and everything around us is God. Everything around us is made of creation, and that living in this life, depending on how you perceive your life or what you desire as peace or what brings you peace, will attract to you. And so, over and over again, I try to just remind myself that so long as I fill my life up with peace, and of course, in this life, the human experience, you're here to express all emotions, to feel all things, to experience all that you can. And so, with that being said, it's one of those things where you have a decision to make of what is peace in your mind? What does that look like? How does that feel? What does your day in, day out go through? And so, for the most part, what I feel I notice is that quite literally, I'm always at peace. Quite literally, anything that I really do desire, I obtain. Not because I'm trying so hard, not because I'm putting manifestations or just grind, get to work hard every day, do XYZ. It's in accordance with the fact that I am already full of abundance, that I am of abundance, and that because I am of abundance, abundance comes towards me. And anything that isn't for me will naturally move itself away, whether that be a job, a person, a place, certain type of actions and experiences. It'll slowly remove itself because I'm in accordance with myself, with my own perception of peace. And your own perception of peace is truly what you feel inside your soul that brings you peace. Some people it's to make $1 million. Other people it's to be having a lot of options when it comes to people, when it comes to opportunities, when it comes to money, when it comes to items. And so I think overall, for the most part, people decide what their life is going to be. People decide how they choose to act, what they choose to be in, what they choose to be around. And so, in accordance to that, when it comes to the idea of peace, when it comes to the idea of love, is that my life is already made of love. I myself am full of love itself. And so, therefore, I have never lacked. Therefore, I have always been enough. Therefore, I have never needed anything. And knowing that because I have an understanding of that, that all things that I may desire, that all things that I may want or need or feel will naturally come to me, and that I don't need to do anything different. In this life, you have a choice of how you live it, of what's important to you, of what you value. And so, to truly value yourself is to truly know what peace is, in my understanding. And so, I feel in accordance to that, in accordance to that, it's all about how you choose to live your life. It's all about what do you think peace looks like to you, and really how you feel about yourself. And naturally, you'll find yourself when you truly try to find the peace of mind in your everyday life, in your state of being, and the things that you do or the things you experience. You notice that, at least for me, I've noticed that my life has become completely peaceful. I don't have as many problems. I don't stress about money. I don't stress about issues. I don't over analyze everything because I know that in this life, the way that I move, everything flows to me naturally. Everything is in divine guidance. If something's not for me, it'll move away. It'll move away. If something I want is coming, it'll come when it's supposed to. The people that I'm supposed to be around, it'll come when it's supposed to. And so it's living a flow state to know that life is all of what you make and all of what you choose to see it as. And as you slowly start to understand the peace of mind, the tranquility of existing and just being at where you are, Not searching for a place, not searching for an item or for a person, but to know that everything is from within. And since everything's from within, everything around you changes. Your reality, the people you're around, the way that you express yourself, the way that you live, the way that you look, it all comes into accordance to that because you yourself chose that. When someone has a negative mindset or a negative life, in a sense, of course, with life itself, there's issues and problems, but also it's choice. What do you choose to do with your day to day? How do you choose to act with people, interact with the world, interact with items and money? How do you perceive the world that you live in? And so when you come to an understanding of that, it's almost like you don't experience the same things anymore. You don't see the same people or places or things because over time, when you change, the world around you changes because there is no difference between you and the world around you. Your reality, your timeline, your whatever you may call it, changes because you change. And so the choice to change is all up to you. The choice of peace is all up to you and what you think it looks like. And that's what makes life unpredictable. Because when you allow yourself to understand that everything flows, when you allow yourself to understand that you are not in a state of lack, you are in a state of peace and choose to live in peace, just to be able to wake up, just to be able to go to work or work out or look good or, spend time with people, your reality changes. And then you find that the people around you are in the same state because energy of all sorts attracts. Good energy people attract bad people. But because when you're in a state of peace or when you're in a state of understanding, things naturally remove themselves. Things will always tend to change over time. And so I feel with that, for the most part, to my understanding, it's all about what you choose and what peace looks like to you. And peace, what you think it might look like, may look different to another person. But it's all in accordance of how you choose to see your reality, how you choose to see yourself, and what you think that looks like. But in all, I guess what I'm trying to say is peace comes from within. And when you have it within, it changes everything around you. So find out what your peace looks like. Really know your own self before you know anybody else or any items or anything that you desire. What does peace look like to you? And then naturally, as you learn what peace looks like to you, your mindset, your soul, your state of being will align with that. Not because you force it, not because you put it into action, not because you're trying, but because you're in a state of abundance and because you believe truly that you matter without anything. Thank you.